But the role at the Academy has been really cool because I come to it with a different perspective than people that have done the job in the past. Many people that have been here as a CEO may not have been musicians or creators or worked professionally in the industry.
When I took on this role back in 2020, I wanted the organization to change and modernize so we could be better and serve this dynamic and global music community.
So when I'm thinking about how we can move the Academy forward, I'm thinking about it in the form of how do we best serve the music community? How do we serve the creators?
It's the man behind the music, y'all. It's the man behind the music, y'all. It's the man behind the music, y'all.
The man behind the music.
This an opportunity you can't pass up. Driven in the V9 engine, yeah, that's a fast truck. Different, see how we living, we never had much. Gotta give thanks, Big Tank done got us gassed up. DNA, I'ma rap to the viewers and put the beats on whoever. We got platinum producers, that's in the future. And if we talking, then it's top dollar. Don't make me go get my dogs, I got Rockwilder. This ain't what they need, what they wanna hear. Fine, I'll go get the nonsense, Mr. Porter here. Them opportunities can't miss, so they flew by. I'm talking New York, New Hampshire to Dubai. We gotta bring it all together, yeah, that's unity. If you from LA, can't dodge an opportunity. Name a better list, you know we never miss. The only place you speak to labels and executives. It's the man behind the music, y'all. It's the man behind the music, y'all. It's the man behind the music, y'all.
The man behind the music.
Yo, I'm Big Tank, and I present to you the man behind the music. Let's get it.
Behind the music. Here we go, y'all.
All right, y'all, welcome back. The man behind the music. I'm Big Tank. To my right, I got my boy,
Mr. Porter.
What up, Denon?
I'm chilling.
To my left, I got
Rockwilder, NPC Squad, act like you know.
We got a special guest today, fellas.
Who's that?
Mr.
Me.
Harvey Mason Jr.
Thank you so much.
You know what? You were not the guest,
Thank
never.
You. No,
But you are special.
Do that for me.
You are special. We got my guy, Harvey Mason Jr. Y'all, listen. This dude is not only a phenomenal producer musically.
Tell me how I'm supposed to breathe with no air. Turn up the music cause the song just came on.
He's done some of the biggest TV shows. One of the best producers I've ever met. He's my boy too. Don't get me, that's a little much. But when I tell you all the movies he's done, man. I mean, Tyrese records, George Sparks records. I mean, just changed the game in so many ways. And he's pivoted, and now he's the CEO of the Grammys. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome in Harvey Mason Jr. Let's go, y'all. Let's go.
Harvey.
All right, so Harvey, listen. I've known you a long time. Like I said, our kids played together, basketball together. I mean, you're like my guy. And even though I've been doing this a long time, you're still somebody that I look up to personally. And that's some real shit. So if you wouldn't mind, let everybody know how you got your start in the music industry.
Well, first, thank you, Tank, for saying that. We've been peers, we've been friends, we've worked together, we've had, as you said, our kids hooping against each other, with each other, so it's good to talk music with you. I got my start growing up in a musical household. My father and my mom are both musicians. We had a piano in our living room, and I started messing around with it when I was a really little kid. My parents would actually do like voice matching pitch training drills, so I'd try and go find notes that they would whistle to me, and then I started putting notes together to make chords, and I started putting chords together to make songs, and I was probably 5, 6, 7 years old, and I started taking piano lessons, and that's how I started.
That's dope, man. All right. Rockwilder, you got something for him?
Harvey, what's good, bro?
It's Rock.
What's happening? I remember meeting you on Cahuenga, that studio in Cahuenga, man, and you was in there with Babyface, and I swear to God, I thought I was probably in the best room that I've ever been in my life, man.
Oh, man, that's amazing. Well, I'm a huge fan of yours and admire a lot of things you've done, and you continue to be amazing.
Can I record that with my phone?
Oh, here you go. Come on, man.
Yo, music industry and music production, how do you feel it's changed since you started?
Well, it's changed in every single way, pretty much. The technology, obviously, you start thinking about the sources we're using, the platforms or the programs. When I started, maybe to a lesser degree, when you started, I was on tape. I was on 2-inch tape. I was using all live musicians. Every once in a while, I'd use a MIDI keyboard. Do you remember when MIDI first came out? I got the MIDI at 7. I'm older than all you guys, but I remember when this stuff happened. And then I got my first sampler. I went through all of them, the SP, the Kurzweil, the MPC.
Oh,
Wow.
Kurzweil.
The
I
Kurzweil was
literally had an
expensive.
LM1, which was the first drum machine from Roger Lynn. And my dad brought it home. He was a drummer. And I started messing around with it. I said, oh, this is the future of music production. So the way we create has changed, and it's continuing to change, quite honestly. And it's going to be, I think, transformative and completely disruptive when we start looking into AI and what AI is going to mean for producers and producing. When you think about dragging and dropping loops and
Hmm.
chord progressions and
Yeah.
guitar licks, but now the AI is just based off a voice prompt. You say, "Hey, make me this kind of song," and all of a sudden you got this song. So
Wow.
that's evolved production. The studio space has changed production. We used to go to studios and rent a room. Now we're doing it on laptops. We're doing it in bedrooms,
Man.
tour vans.
Hmm.
So that's changed. I'll say the one thing that has not changed, and I know this wasn't your question, Rock, but I'll say is an important, maybe the most important piece of production, and that's inspiring, emotional, meaningful, resonant performances from artists. Right? We can have all the technology, you can have all the tricks, you can have auto tune, you can have Melodyne,
Right.
you can have every app and plugin available, but the goal of the producer still, and has always been, to bring out the best in an artist. And if you're producing a vocalist or a rap artist or even an individual instrumentalist, you're trying to make them sound better than they've ever sounded.
Get to know, so I need to be free, but I don't mind.
Yep.
You're trying to make the message that they're trying to convey land with the consumer, with the listener. And you're trying to push every mental, not physical, but metaphorical button that you can to create a moving experience, a moving performance that is real and authentic. And that's the piece of a producer that I think is overlooked a lot of times. And if you're doing that, you can be successful. If you're not, you're just making tracks.
Break.
Yo, what's good, everybody? I'm Big Tank. I'm the host of the podcast, The Man Behind the Music. And what I need you to do right now is to download the app. If you are a music artist, if you're an independent artist, if you aspire to do music in any capacity, this is the app for you. If you want to learn everything from music production to song splits to anything of the sort, this is the app for you. You want to talk to A&Rs, you want to talk to showrunners, you want to talk to TV executives, song placement to getting a record deal to how to win a Grammy. This is the app for you. So listen, right now, learn everything you need to learn about the music industry and download the Man Behind the Music app. I'm Big Tank.
And we're back. Harvey, most artists are introverted. They kind of like stay in their own spaces. You very rarely have these, like, when you have, like, you think about Prince and Michael Jackson and people like that, they were really like introverted people and into the craft. But how important being an introverted artist is, like, tell our audience how important relationships are in the music industry and how important that is to have them.
It's a good question and a timely question, because that is all up for debate right now.
Yeah.
Some people think it's as important as ever. Other people think quite the opposite. I don't know if you've seen the latest with Chappell Roan, who's kind of an artist that's blowing up right now. And she's gone on to some social media pages and really questioned what her relationship is with her fans and, like, what should it be? What should it mean? If I'm on stage, yes, there's a relationship. If I'm off stage, there's not a relationship. You're a stranger. You don't
Yeah.
know me. So there's a distance that she's contemplating or trying to create. And so maybe that's the new model. I'm not sure. We'll see how fans react to that, or maybe they like that, maybe they don't. But as far as in the industry, relationships are always going to be important, depending on who you work with, who you collaborate with, whose support you have, who's trying to help lift you up versus trying to keep you down. That always makes a difference. The relationships were more of a gatekeeping relationships in days past, excuse me, because you needed somebody to give you access.
Yeah.
Right.
You needed them to give you access to a studio, to a distribution deal, to a label deal, to marketing, promotion, radio play. That was everything that we all depended on. Now that's been removed. And so there's been so much less friction between creating and reaching fans. So relationships are always going to be important in my mind. but potentially now you can get to your consumers. You can create and release your music with less interaction with other people. So we'll see how this plays out.
Yeah.
Man. All right, Rock, what you got for him?
How did you make the switch, man? You know what I'm saying? Coming from the illustrious group, the Underdogs, and then switching over to being CEO of the Grammys. How did you make the switch? How did it feel?
Say you're so tired. Say you just tired. Say you're so tired of picking.
So is good. So is good. So makes it.
Yeah, you didn't put that same.
So means it happens a lot. Yeah, repeat it.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the CEO of the Recording Academy, Mr. Harvey Mason Jr.
Let's give it up for some of our Grammy nominees that performed here. Yolanda Adams, Wayne,
It felt very natural, to be honest. And I continue to make music, so I've never really gone like hard left or hard right turn. So yeah, I'm in the studio most nights, to be honest, and so I'm still creative. But the role at the Academy has been really cool because I come to it with a different perspective than people that have done the job in the past. You know, many people that have been here as a CEO may not have been musicians or creators or worked professionally in the industry. So when I'm thinking about how we can move the Academy forward, I'm thinking about it in the form of how do we best serve the music community? How do we serve the creators? And that's really what the Academy does. Most people don't know a lot about that. But as I became a member and I started voting and I started participating in the elected leadership, I started seeing really the important parts of the Academy and the Grammy organization beyond just the show. And that's the stuff that for me, it makes a difference to have somebody like me in the seat because I know the challenges of the music community and of our music family. And that's what excites me every day doing that job.
So the producers want to know, if you're working on music right now, what is your DAW of choice?
Very simple. I've been a Logic guy for a long time.
Told you.
Stay on Logic.
Logic is it.
Denon's a Logic guy, so
Logic
you definitely got him right now. Denon,
Hey,
what
there's
questions you got?
new Logic. There's a new one out. I haven't switched over. How is it?
It's amazing. It's amazing.
This banging ain't gonna front.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Dang, I got to check it. I've been scared to do it.
Nah, don't be.
I haven't done it yet.
Don't be, man. Don't be. It's a lot easier to move around, actually.
Really?
Mm-hmm. A lot
Well, I
easier.
got like a couple rigs, in my rooms and my laptop. I was like, oh, do I want to try and do this right now? So hopefully I'll get to it. But I also use Pro Tools, to be honest. And I use Logic more for the MIDI stuff. And I do, put all my audio in it ultimately. But when I'm cutting vocals, I'm still using Pro Tools. I've just been a Pro Tools guy from the jump. I started on Pro Tools when it was Sound Designer. I think it was 2 tracks just so you could edit, waves. And then I got onto it was 8 tracks. And so I've been following Pro Tools and using it since its inception.
And it's the standard. It's like the standard for music now.
I do all the vocals and everything in Logic now.
Oh, you cutting vocals in Logic?
That's why I do everything.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Now, I'm still Pro Tools for vocals and whatnot.
Yeah.
What question you got for him?
You know what, Harvey? Okay, so I done sat in the seat plenty of times when you waiting to see if you winning that Album of the Year award. Definitely have been through the controversial parts myself. I know you might not. I know it ain't personal, but
I know.
Listen,
I know.
so the voting system, how it works, what criteria are y'all looking for? Does popularity matter? Like, tell us about the voting criteria, because honestly, when you're sitting there, it's like, it took me a long time. I'm not a kid no more, but when I first was in there, it was like, oh my God, they played it, and we could be mad, like you could be mad about it. But explain a little bit about the criteria and how y'all do the voting system, so maybe we can get an insight on it.
Well, Denana, I think you've won 2 Grammys, right?
All right, you ain't had to, but still.
I was just making sure we were clear about that part.
Let's just put it out there.
This is just for everybody that might not know today, because like they don't get it. They don't get it.
Look, I was just pointing that out because I'm 0 for 5, so I haven't won yet. So when you talk about sitting in the chair and feeling like I don't get it, I've always been in that chair. But when I got to this role, I really started to dig into it and start to understand it. And that's actually why I took the job. I was the chair of the Academy's board of trustees before I was the CEO. So I knew, and that's a volunteer position. So now as the CEO, I was able to really get here and try and try and initiate some change and some evolution to what we did on our policies around voting. But the way that it works, basically, to be totally honest, is it starts with our voting members.
Okay.
We have 12,000 voting members. To be a voting member, you have to be a professional creator in the industry. So you can't be a lawyer or, like an executive. You need to be a producer, engineer, writer, performer, musician, that type of creator. So to be a member, you're a creator. Once you become a member, you can prove to the Academy that you have credits, you're a professional, you work in our industry, you're considered a voting member. As a voting member, you get a ballot. The first round ballot is all the submissions that everybody submitted. So pretty much anybody can submit their music for consideration. We usually get between 15 and 20,000 submissions every year.
Mm-hmm.
So the ballot's very big. That ballot goes out to the 12,000 voters. The voters look through it. Hopefully they listen. I encourage all the voters to listen to the stuff you don't know. And of course, you have familiarity with some things. And then you vote. And the vote is based on your opinion. That's it. On the ballot, it doesn't say how many streams they have. It doesn't say how many, whatever downloads they got or how many concert tickets they sold or popularity, Instagram followers. It's just the music. And the voters are asked to listen to the music and evaluate it in their opinion. And of course, John, this stuff is subjective.
Yeah.
Depending on how you grew up, what you like, what you listen to, what genre of music you're in, you might vote differently.
Yeah.
So with that in mind, the first thing, when I got in the role, the team and myself and the board, we all looked at this stuff and I said, we've got to change our voting membership. We got to bring people to the Academy who are relevant. Before 5 years ago, there were no requalifications. So you could add a hit in the 60s or the 70s and an older person, and you're still voting on a hip hop album of the year. And you're like, oh, I recognize that name. Let me just vote for this person. So we requalified all the voters. You have to be current. You have to be relevant. You have to be a professional working. So that helped a lot. Then we looked through our membership and said, where are we lacking? What genres are we missing voters from? We realized that people of color, the black genres, traditionally black genres, were sorely underrepresented in our voting membership. So we changed that. We went out into the genres and we asked people, hey, we need you to be a part of the Academy because we need you to vote. So once we rebalanced our membership, including 2,500 new women members, including members from rock, from black music, other crafts, we felt like we got a better body of voters that was more relevant. And again, we sent them the ballot. They listen. Hopefully now they're listening to music that they understand and music that they're a part of making. They evaluate it, cast a vote. Deloitte, which is one of the biggest auditing firms in the world, counts the votes, tabulates the votes, gives us the top 5 or the top 8, depending on what category it is. And that is the second round ballot. That second round ballot now goes out to the same 12,000 members. They look at the 5 or the 8, and they pick their favorite. That person with the most votes wins, period. That's it. There's no committees. There's no extra outside influence. There's no people in a back room looking at it and saying, oh, I like this person. It's done by the voters. And this is my word to you all. As a music creator, as a producer, I've seen it. I've seen every level of this thing. I've been in every room. I've been in every piece of tech that we use. It's the 12,000 voters tabulated by Deloitte to decide who is the winner. That's it.
Break. Yo, what's good, everybody? I'm Big Tank, host of the Man Behind the Music podcast. And what I need you to do for me right now is to like, share, and subscribe to the Man Behind the Music podcast. Once again, like it, share it, and subscribe to it. Check out the podcast, y'all. The Man Behind the Music. I'm Big Tank. Peace.
And we're back. I think the other part to that is, how did they get that song in front of you guys? Because that's the thing that people don't know. See, you have to go through a process to even do that, right?
To submit?
Yeah, for those songs to be submitted to even be voted on is important.
That's easy. Yeah. You go on the website and you say submit. I think there's a small fee to submit it and it goes in. Submitting's not hard.
Awesome.
And
anybody who released, if the song's out in the U.S. on any of the platforms, Spotify, Apple, Amazon, any of the main platforms constitutes it as an official release, so it's eligible. If it comes out during the year, basically from August 30th to August 30th, in that kind of window, and it changes a little bit here and there. As long as it comes out in that window and it's come out on a platform, you can submit.
That's dope.
There you go.
All right, so how does one become a member, Harvey?
You go to the website, you apply, you put in your credits. And as I said, if you're a professional in our industry, you're working, you can prove that you're literally a music creator, you can become a member. We also have a Grammy U membership, which is for students. Those aren't voting members, but they can be a member of the Academy and then matriculate on to becoming a voting member if you get into the industry. And then we have professional members, which are the other non-creative members who, again, don't vote, but attorneys, executives, managers, lawyers, those are called professional members. But it's really the 12,000 voting members that I think you're asking about. So if you're an engineer, if you're an assistant engineer, if you're a producer, if you're a programmer, if you're a musician, singer, any of these people that create and work on music, you can become a member.
I love that. I don't know if people know how much of equal opportunity it is to become a member and whatnot. Mm-hmm. All right, so last question, man, and I want to say thank you for coming on, man. But last question, I mean, you got hit records. I mean, you've got, man, so many hit records, and you got these amazing movies, and now you're the CEO of the Grammys, man. If you got to pick one, and I know you, like I said, you're still creative, you're telling rock. If you got to pick one, it's like your favorite thing to do. I know this is tough, man. What would it be? The movies, the songs, or your position at the Grammys?
I tell you, it's a tough question, but it's an easy answer because based on my trajectory and where I was in my chronology or in my career journey, I would choose differently. But right now, I would choose my work at the Academy because when I wake up, I know I'm representing all the creators and I'm working for the creators. I'm serving our community. And that's what I love. Maybe at the beginning, I was all about chasing hits. I wanted to be on the radio. I wanted to work with the biggest artists. Then I wanted to work on the biggest movies. I still love doing both those things. But serving our community and making sure that we have a place, a safe industry. Like if you think about it, if we don't get this legislation done right, if we don't get stuff built in the state and federal courts, AI is going to do exactly what we do and maybe better than us. If we don't figure out how to monetize that and control it and get credits, that's going to get away from us. If we don't figure out how to get paid fairly from streaming, we're all going to be working jobs where, we're doing other things, gardening or working at Starbucks or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So in my role now, I get to help serve and lift music people. And that's our people. That's my people. That's all three of you guys. And that's the next versions of you three and the next versions of me. Yeah. So at this point, I'm most fulfilled and most excited about my work and serving people through the Academy.
That's awesome. And we need you there, bro, because we're going to get into streaming in another episode and how people get paid from it. And we really need you there to represent us and to stand up for the musicians because we've really never really had anybody who does that for us, bro. And unfortunately, we have a lot of artists who, as you get older, they're just not taken care of and they're not making the money and they're not doing those things anymore. And, now to know that we have you there and we have different opportunities and we're trying to offer opportunities with the TV shows that we're doing on this show and whatnot and trying to show different avenues where people can make income. We're just really trying to take steps forward. So to know that you're there and representing us, Harvey, man, I thank you for that. And I thank you for your time.
I appreciate it, Tank. And there are different groups. They're all kind of advocating for different, there's the labels that are trying to get their piece, the publishers trying to get their piece. And so, but there's not anyone thinking about it in a holistic way and what's equitable and fair for all of us as creators. So I'm glad you're happy I'm here. I'm happy I'm here as well. I feel like I do bring a different perspective. And the good thing is we're making good progress. And with the support of the music community and doing things like this and, raising awareness of what the Academy does, hopefully we can get more support, more music people that are relevant and working on our side in our building with us and all pushing together. So thank you.
Is there anything out there right now that you're working on that you want to talk about? Just, like a new movie you got coming out, anything that you want to just highlight? This is just me and you asking.
Oh, man. Yeah, I'm doing a couple of really cool projects, a new film about Pharrell Williams and his biopic. And it's almost not a biopic. I take that back. It's inspired by his life, but set in the 70s in Virginia Beach. So I've been working on that for a bit. And then I've also been working on the new Michael Jackson biopic, which is epic. I mean, it's going to be a massive, massive film. And then on the Academy side, I'm working on a lot more of what we've been focused on, the evolution. A lot of our time gets spent on this AI space and trying to think about what's next there. And then just trying to make opportunities and pathways for more music people. Hey, Rock, Dan, I got to say, it was great to be here. The other thing I'll say, I'll ask you guys to do me a big favor. Now, this is the man behind the music, right? Is that what we're let's make sure we get some women behind the music on this show, because I've worked with a lot of amazing, amazing women.
We have several country artists. And again, now, here we got Shabuzi coming.
This kid Skip on the beat, he just did a record for Tia Corinne is featured on a record called Hot One.
The plus is that I get to work in a business that I'm passionate about. I have friends and family members that are not excited about the jobs that they do every day. And they're just to get a check. Like, I'm very fortunate that my parents, both of them, sacrificed.
And we're back.
Thank you for having me. This is great. Hopefully we'll do it again.
100%, man.
Thank you.
And I'm going to call you offline, man, but thank you so much, man. Appreciate you.
And now a message from Rock Wilder.
Rock, you got a question for him?
And that murderer wouldn't have said thank you. She would have stayed in the car.
This guy right here.
She would have watched Kanan all night. Just one of them, the vanilla one. Baby!
Up a tip, shining like a bubble flare. Bet you they gonna double dare. Watch that. I never stopped before my blocks was just my craft. They never knocked me off of my path.
That nigga always sleeping. That nigga always sleeping. Rock Wilder.
Hey, yo, what's up? This is Rock Wilder. You're checking out Man Behind the Music. We need you to like. We need you to comment. We need you to oh, hold on. What's up? This is Rock Wilder, y'all, and y'all are watching Man Behind the Music. We need you to like. We need you to comment. We need you to subscribe. Are you going to put that thing down when I point down like that?
Yeah.
Subscribe. Subscribe.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Do it
all
one
right?
more time.
With my lucky hat.
This the man behind the music, they wondering what he's doing. Which beat machine is he using? Which artist is he improving? Trust it isn't fair, must we get to share? Drums is in the air, percussions with the snare. Keep showing his levels, grinding never settles. More than just the lyrics, it's more than the instrumental. Some will never know, work will let it show. Tune in next week and we back with the episode.